Hello and welcome to my video. We're going to talk about the forms of energy. So we talked about this in class. This is just going to be a brief reminder, so if you missed it or whatever, you probably should go back to the slides to take a look at that. But there are a few different types of energy. We're going to talk about the main ones right here, and some examples thereof. So chemical energy, like any sort of chemical that can release energy in the form of heat or in the form of electricity or in the form of something else. Generally speaking, that's heat. So gasoline is a good example of that. As well as food is a really good example of that. So when we eat food, our body digests it and it gets energy from that. Also, when we use that energy that's stored in our body as fat and sugar and starch, well, not starch, but fat and sugar is stored in our body, and mostly fat, that is us using that chemical energy to do some sort of mechanical thing, so moving our muscles, generally speaking. Okay, electric is, electricity. That's not a surprise there. We have mechanical, which has a variety of different ones. We look at mostly gravitational potential and kinetic. Gravitational, basically, if something is raised up, or it's high up, that is gravitational potential, whereas kinetic is motion. Okay, so if something's moving. Spring and magnetic potential both can exist as well. If you pull something away from a spring, but it's attached, it'll want to pull back towards it. If you push a spring together, it'll want to push away. As well as magnetic, if you pull it away or towards a magnet, you can cause something to move, potentially. Nuclear, there's two different types. There's fission and fusion. Both are nuclear. Currently, humans can only do fission, but the sun also does fusion, and stars, any stars. Okay, everything on Earth pretty much comes from solar energy. So whether that be wind, hydro, chemical from plants, everything pretty much comes from solar energy. And so we can use that going straight to electricity, or we can use it once it turns into plants because of photosynthesis. And so they can make chemicals, and then if they die, they make fossil fuels, whatever. So everything eventually comes from solar energy. Okay, almost everything. The only two that don't are geothermal, because our planet has heat besides the sun's heat. We actually have heat in our core. So geothermal energy is one of them. And potentially tidal, because the moon causes most tidal energy. So pretty much everything else comes straight from the sun. Oh, and nuclear. All right, so this is from the sun. And the most classic example would be a solar panel. And the other classic example is photosynthesis. Okay, heat and thermal, it's very straightforward. It's anything that's heat energy. And yeah, these are the ones that I really want you guys to focus on and think about, as these are the ones we talk about most. I hope this video helps you understand forms of energy a little bit better. Good luck!